Dancing beat. Hi everyone, I'm your best friend, back in town again. Hi everyone, I'm your best friend, back in town again. Let me get you on your dancing beat. Hi everyone, I'm your best friend, back in town again. Let me get you on your dancing beat.
Welcome to Awesome Exiles.
Yeah, I'm Ryan, or Doc. You can find my work at eclecticforewing.me.
Hey, sup, I'm Ali, your acid bath princess of the darkness. I'm on YouTube as Ali the Zombie 13, and I'm the administrator of a ongoing website called WeViddy.net.
Crash, you want to introduce yourself?
All right, this is Crash, and I am everywhere on the internet under the name Lawborn or Crash Exile, whichever you like. Mostly on YouTube nowadays, but hopefully I'll be on WeVidly. Excuse me, I said the first name.
All right, Crash. Crash is going to the dark zone.
Oh no! Get banned now.
To the shadow realm with you.
I'm sorry, Allison.
It's
okay.
Back to BitView with you.
Get my deck of cards. It's time to duel. Alright, but so today's topic of choice, we're going to be discussing basically how the internet's changed, because we've all been on the internet in various forms over the last 20, 30 years. And God, has the internet changed a lot.
Well, maybe I'll start it off since I'm going to take it back to its very beginnings.
Fine by me.
You see, I first got a personal computer and got involved with the internet in 95. Yes, that long ago. But even before that, let's talk computers just a little bit. My first computer used Windows 3.1. We're talking only 16 colors, tiled wallpapers, and your file names could only be 8.3, meaning 8 characters before the decimal and 3 after. Even emails were like that. You had 8 characters you could use, and then your @ and then your IP. But let's go up to Windows 95, because this is where the internet gets really interesting. Anyone remember Netscape?
Oh, yeah.
My first browser.
It was like the very first browser ever.
Yeah. Anybody remember
I actually
websites?
remember that.
Anyone remember websites with under construction? You had the little men in the work suits and the little orange and white cones and everything. And threaded bulletin boards that were text only. You didn't even have emojis. If you wanted to do artwork, you'd have to use ASCII artwork. And then there were site visit counters. That was a big thing. How many people visited your site? Everyone had one because they wanted to have the most hits. Dial-up connection. Remember that one?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I still remember that sound.
Yes.
That sound will haunt my dreams.
Yes, that's yes. I every once in a while I'll talk to people. I say every once in a while. When I talk to people younger than myself, I'm always like, you're lucky that you didn't have to deal with dial-up, because we're now at a point where there's a generation of people that more or less or not at all ever had to deal with dial-up. But those days, man, those days.
I mean, a lot.
Dial-up
was of it. The internet was slow. It was really bad.
Hell, a lot of them haven't even had to use landlines.
Yeah, dial-up was both magic and a nightmare, because on one hand, the internet was a very interesting place to surf through, but on the other hand, you couldn't use dial-up and the phone at the same time. It was either one or another, so everybody was always fighting. Everybody was like, hey, turn off the internet. Somebody is going to call me today. And we had to turn off the internet. And we also couldn't, we are also not allowed to use the internet on working days, because the phone bill would come absurdly high. So we could only use the internet on Saturdays and Sundays.
Well, remember your limited minutes per month you could have, and if you went over, you had to pay extra fees.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Honestly, I remember the 90s internet more for a different reason. I'm sure you know of it, but remember the original Doom crash and Linda?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember Doom real well.
Yeah, the game that pretty much helped make the shareware model really popular. The bane of old internet servers of college campuses everywhere back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget 3.5-inch discs with 1.44 megabytes of space.
Oh,
and AOL,
God.
America Online. They would send you discs in the mail to get you to sign up for them.
Yeah, well,
that was funny.
I was just gonna add on that. And every show, like there's a period of time. I don't know what year it stopped happening, but like if you watch old kid shows, even old adult shows, whatever, and you see commercials, they'll all say whatever it is, .com or AOL keyword, and that's immediately when you realize you're watching something from like the year 1999. Is anytime you hear anybody be like, use AOL keyword NFL to get the latest scores, and you're like, oh, well, that's from a different time.
Oh, yeah. And what about editors for your web pages?
Or how it was.
You couldn't use editors right off. You had to know raw HTML to make websites. You had to actually code it in yourself. And flashing banners. Everyone had a banner that was flashing.
Now, you weren't cool unless you had at least 3 of them.
I know, right? And bitmap files instead of...
You're not cool if you don't give people ellipse.
Yeah, and there was those flashing banners. I think everybody stopped using them because advertisements started using them. There was like, hey, congratulations, your visitor number 10,000. You won something super cool, and if you clicked on it, it would just install a virus.
Yeah, in fact, thinking about it, looking back on it, that's probably how I actually know more about the flashing banners, because I'm trying to think of any websites that I would have gone to that would have had those. But the only time I can actually, when I even think of those, I think of the obvious clickbait advertisement, which, I mean, there's still that kind of stuff now, just as far as like, yo, you click on this and there's a virus or whatever.
Hot lonely singles in your area right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, stuff like that. But like back then, it was stuff like, visitor, you are the 10,000th visitor, or it was stuff like that. Those kind of advertisements were what were the clickbait virus advertisements. So that has certainly changed.
Oh yeah, and there was also install ask toolbar.
Oh God, toolbar.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Those were the worst.
The toolbar, yes.
My first computer, I had like 8 discrete different toolbars in Internet Explorer when I first started using the computer.
God, toolbars were just a blight on the internet back then. Everyone had a toolbar and everyone wanted you to use it.
Yeah, I used to have Google toolbar.
ADG, Google, Yahoo.
Yeah. That just yeah.
I was going to say another thing was bitmap files rather than JPG, which ironically took up a lot more space since storage is much less than it is with modern operating systems. And you had to upload your website stuff by FTP, File Transfer Protocol program, which looked like a little DOS screen.
Yeah, I still use that actually.
the
Under FileZilla.
internet still uses that.
Those are the highlights of what I remember from the old days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember for the other reason, forums. Forums back in the days, how communities grew. Actually, that's how the furry fandom got started, was back in the late 80s, early 90s. Everyone that had like-minded interests started reaching out on forums.
Yeah, that's certainly a thing that's changed. Where that's because there are still forums, and you still have some sizable forums, but there seems to be less of them because now you have places like Facebook that have Facebook groups or Twitter where you'll have like a segment of Twitter that's like whatever it is, that's the community of people, but it's on Twitter, or you have the specific Facebook groups. There's no dedicated websites for communities, or at least there's not nearly as many as there used to be.
Yeah, because forums were mostly discontinued because they don't have the capabilities of new sites for like live chat, for example, and other stuff like that. So forums were kind of abandoned.
Yeah, a lot of them were really replaced with, well, let's be honest, Discord.
Yeah,
So
I was just about to say that.
That's another place that has replaced a lot of stuff. I mean, Discord, Twitter, Facebook have very much damaged forums.
To be fair, at least
as far as like the main way. I mean, as I said, there's still forums. I mean, I'm on a forum. I mean, I write the column for the forum, so they do exist, but they're less prevalent. And in a way, I kind of think that's a shame because I just think back to that style of communication, and everybody would have their own avatars, and you could see how long people were in the community. You'd have post counts on forums and things like that, and you'd have the signatures that would be all different and whatnot. And so, in a way, I think there was a lot of personality with forums. And in the design and the colors and whatnot that you just don't see much anymore.
I remember one forum I was on, I got up to 6,666 posts before it went out.
The only forum I remember I actually participate in this forum right now is from a game. It's from a PS2 game that got its online servers reinstated.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, outbreakserver.org. It's like the only forum I visit, and it's because it's a really old game.
Yeah, honestly, I do love that game. Is a killer game, and it's a shame that instead of giving us that, they decided to give us, hey, here's Resident Evil Resistance instead.
Yeah, that game was very much ahead of its time, but yeah, forums have mostly been replaced by new media. I think Discord is as closest as you can get to a forum, but basically instead of threads, you have live chat.
Yeah, I'm personally a fan of Discord. I find I like how customizable, how easy it is to set up and go.
Yeah, Discord is one of the better things about new internet because let's be honest, nobody would in their mind use Skype. Skype is a mess.
God, Skype was a mess when it was popular.
You could say that again.
It was a mess before it was popular. It was a mess after it was popular, and it was a mess after it got abandoned. I still use it.
I said, yeah, it only got worse once Microsoft acquired it.
Yeah, Microsoft basically acquired Skype, and because they felt, oh, nobody's using this, they forced everybody to switch from MSN to Skype, and that was it. That killed both.
Pretty much.
Speaking of Microsoft,
they killed two birds with one stone.
Anyone remember Internet Checkers?
Oh, yes, that game came with Windows XP.
Yep, because Windows XP used to come with stuff. I mean, there was 3D Space Cadet Pinball, and you had Internet Checkers where you could play people online.
Minesweeper and Solitaire, I love those.
Doc?
Yeah, I used to play all of these games in the spare time, too. They were a lot of fun.
Doc, did you not get me any screenshots of MSM or MSN?
I can get you one right now. I actually have a patched copy of it installed.
There's actually
it uses an unofficial server called Escargot, or is it Escargot? I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Escargot.
Yes.
Anyone remember ICQ?
Oh, yes. It was like MSN before MSN.
Uh-huh.
There was also AIM and a few others I don't remember, but ICQ, AIM, and MSN were like the three main ones of the old internet.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's the other thing that we haven't talked about up to this point is how streaming has changed, streaming video, because I remember a time, this would have been summer of 2009, where like I was using cartoonnetwork.com at that point on a regular basis, and their video section, they had a whole series that you could sit and you could binge for free, no login information, none of that. You could just go to the website.
Oh, yes.
And watch.
Yeah.
And then you have a sites like Hulu. Hulu used to be a free service that would have all sorts of content. Networks websites used to have all sorts of free content day after airing on TV. And now you have a million different streaming services, paid streaming services.
Actually,
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
back then streaming was almost entirely handled by two applications. It was Windows Media Player. It was like the old Windows Media Player and Real Player. Does anybody remember Real Player?
Yes.
I remember Real
Oh,
Player.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I
these
have not
were
heard
like
that name in a long time.
Yeah, these were like the two biggest ones that allow people to watch things on their website. And if you didn't have, if a website hosted Real Player content or Windows Media Player content, and you didn't have that installed, they would be like, "Oh, you don't have Real Player or Windows Media Player installed. Please install it so you can watch this video."
Yep.
Let's not forget Silverlight.
Yeah, actually, going back to
Flash player.
going back
Yeah.
to streaming, actually, because of the rise of the fact that everyone and their mother has a streaming service now, piracy's been back on the rise. Like when Steam was first introduced, piracy of games dropped drastically, but now that there's so many different services, no one wants to use all these different services or pay for them. Just like with TV streaming, like who the hell wants to pay for 12 different like Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu Plus, every single, who wants to buy like 12,000
Yeah.
So
No, not
Not
me.
Anyone remember Mega Video?
Oh, yes.
Mega
Didn't they
what?
have like a 90-minute counter, too? Where you had
Yep,
to like
the
reset
72
your browser's
minutes.
cache.
The 72 minutes.
Oh,
72
72 minutes.
Watch anything. It was 72
Wait.
minutes. Or wait, it was 72 minutes. I can't remember if it was 90 minutes, and then you had to wait 72 minutes in between watching things
Mhm.
or
Oh, yeah.
what it was. But there was specifically, it was either you had 72 minutes to watch or it was 90 minutes.
That thing was a
minute.
minute.
Or
Wait.
you could pay, which is how that guy ended up becoming a millionaire.
What Mega what again?
Mega Video.
Oh, right. Mega Video. It was part of Mega Upload.
Yep.
Mhm.
Speaking of Mega Upload, back before there was Google Drive and all these other Dropbox and all these other cloud sharing sites, there were these sites called Rapid Share, Mega Upload, Mediafire, all these file sharing websites, and they all had these file limits. Like you can only upload 100 megabytes per file, so people split their files into a million pieces and they uploaded on every one of them. And then they said you need to download all these 25 files and then you need to combine them, and it was a nightmare to get through because these sites usually forced you to pay for a premium service, otherwise the service would be horrible.
You're giving me nightmares thinking about that. Rapid Share, that was the one that I hated the most. Mediafire, I think, was kind of the better of the two evils at the time.
Yeah, Mediafire was the best. Yeah, Mediafire was the best out of all of them, but Rapid Share was a damn nightmare because they didn't let you use anything to support your download. Your download would usually cancel halfway through, and then you have to download the whole thing again. But then they wouldn't let you
20 times over.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you download the entire thing again because there was a limit on how many files you could download per hour, and you had to wait an hour to download another file. And since Rapid Share kind of canceled your download halfway through, it was impossible.
Man, that's nothing rapid or sharing about it.
No.
Also before Rapid Share, there was also the other. There was these P2P sharing applications, like it was Torrent before Torrent. I remember there was LimeWire and Emule. Yeah. Does anybody remember Emule?
A little bit, yeah.
It was either LimeWire or Emule. Basically everybody used those applications. You search for a file on them, and if somebody else's computer had that file, you could download that file into yours, and it was like a mess of viruses and varying quality. Like, you could search for a song or a video, and you never knew what kind the quality it would come. Some songs would come in great quality, others would come in horrible quality. It was just a mess.
Or do you remember after the LimeWire lawsuit, when you would go to download a song, they'd show like, it would have the same duration as the song, but when you open the file, it'll be like, LimeWire has been shut down. Please claim your prize and enter your information at the following website. Please acquire your music later.
Well, I wasn't around for that because I prefer to use Emule.
Damn you, Hetfield.
I've heard that because at one point recently, a while back, I watched a retrospective on LimeWire, and then we're talking about how the music industry would actually put corrupt files on there. Maybe it was LimeWire or Kazaa was one of them, and they would actually purposely put virus files like that to try to stop piracy.
Oh, so when the music industry puts booby traps on the internet, it's fair and legal. But when I put a bear trap in my house, it's dangerous. It's a booby trap.
Who remembers Napster and the lawsuits they went through?
Oh yeah, Napster.
That was before my time, but I'm aware of that.
You remember it was the lead singer for Metallica, I think, who started all of that. And I was
Hetfield.
on the internet at the time. I had friends of mine downloading, thousands of songs for free.
And now it's even easier with just a YouTube to MP3 converter.
Yeah, and there's a million of those. It's like,
there's
one of the things about Real Player you could download off of YouTube.
Oh yeah, there was
the
Real Player browser plugin. They would show, hey, download this video with Real Player while you were browsing YouTube.
Yes, I remember this. Anyone remember GameSpy and companies like that would hold the servers? There were server companies, specific server companies for certain games. Like the way I first encountered that was there was this game, may it rest in peace because I wish it still existed. There's what was it? Ben 10 Alien Force Bounty Hunters. And I remember that was like a game that you would download. That was the first online game I ever played. It was an online competitive 2D third-person shooter. And I remember the servers for that. There would always be that GameSpy logo because they were the ones that ran the servers for it. There were companies like that. Anybody remember that?
No, but
Core, did
I
you get
do
the
remember a
screenshot
lot
I
of.
Yeah, I did. But we already
I
moved
do-
past it.
I do remember slot machine games being advertised on the internet. Come play for free, win money.
Oh, Pogo. Remember Pogo?
Oh yeah.
I remember I used to always play that. I always used to play like that Plinko game. There's a lot of games on there I remember playing a lot.
Remember, because Google has been around for a very long time, but remember when Yahoo was the all-consuming company for everything? You had
Yeah.
Yahoo.com, Yahoo Mail, you had Yahoo Answers, you had games on Yahoo, you had Yahoo Groups, you had Yahoo Blogs, almost all the stuff. I guess with the exception of a video service, as far as like a content creation.
There was a video service, actually. It was called Yahoo Videos.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, there was Yahoo.
Yeah, there was.
Just Yahoo.
Yeah, but no,
It was
Yahoo,
just everywhere.
I was
Yahoo.
on Yahoo Video at one time.
Yahoo Videos wasn't exactly a video service like YouTube where you can upload your thing and it would be there. No, Yahoo Videos was more like a search engine. It would search videos on sites, on other sites.
Right. But
Remember Photo Bucket?
Oh, right.
Do you remember? Oh, yeah. Wasn't that owned by
That
MySpace?
site was so wrapped up with so many ads, though.
Yeah, Photo Bucket was a nightmare. Like even back in the day, I didn't know why people use that site because you uploaded a picture there, it would destroy the quality, and then it would force you to go to their site. It would fill up your image with ads. It was just so bad.
Let's be glad it kicked the bucket.
Yes.
Yeah, it was replaced by IMGUR.
Oh yeah, Imgur.
Yeah, or you could just paste images on Discord these days.
Yeah, and then use the link it generates.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember when Yahoo was just like in control of everything, which is weird now because it's like worth like $1 million now. But there was a period where if you were using the internet, you were using something that was Yahoo.
I only remember Yahoo Mail and Yahoo Videos, but back when I first got into the internet, like in the year 2000 or so, Google was already active and many people preferred it to Yahoo, including me.
I still use the Yahoo email, but that's just because it'd be a pain. I've been using that account since like 2007, 2006, and I just really don't want to change over, you know?
Yeah. I used to have my very first email was Hotmail. Does anybody remember that? It was
I
the
remember
email.
that one.
Oh my
I
gosh!
never used
Yeah.
Hotmail, but I remember that existing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah,
have a
Hotmail-
Hotmail address.
Hotmail was the one that required you to sign up for if you wanted access to MSN.
I remember that.
And by the way, there was two different versions of MSN. There was Windows Messenger and Windows Live Messenger.
I never used those. What was the deal with those exactly?
I mean, Windows Messenger was like another version of Windows Live Messenger. It was in Windows XP, I believe. And it was essentially the older version. But then when Windows 7 or Windows Vista came around, I don't remember. Microsoft,
It started with Vista.
yeah, Microsoft released Windows Live Messenger, which was like an updated version of the previous one. And I don't remember if you could use both at the same time, but yeah, it was either one or another.
Honestly, befitting my channel and what I do on the internet, My real introduction, well, like I used it off and on during school, right? But when I really started getting heavily into the internet was back in 2006, 2007 with RuneScape. With RuneScape and YouTube is what really got me using the internet pretty much every day. And Roblox.
Well, what got me using the internet every day was like Cartoon Network, because the site was like filled with all sorts of Flash mini games, and I would just sit there and play every last one of them.
Yep, I remember those days.
Oh, they had a lot of fun games on there.
The first time, I mean, I was
Ironically,
semi-regularly using the internet as early as, what would that have been, even like 2006, maybe even 2005. I would have to, 2005, 2006. And I was going to cartoonnetwork.com a lot. And at some point after that, I would also go to like nick.com and nickjr.com at one point. And because they actually had some, you'd think they would have some pretty lame games on there, but they actually had a couple pretty good games on there. So I was using that, and I went to those sites. There was a good period from like 2006 to like 2011 or 12 where I was regularly using those sites. But when I seriously really started using the internet, like as far as branching out and whatnot, probably would have been like 2010, because at that time, and I did not do any videos. So before anyone asked, I was on kidstube.com. That was part of that community. That was as early as, that was 2010. And then, so I was seriously using that. I was in the community commenting and whatnot. And then, but at that point I was using YouTube. And then after that, I entered the alternative site community in 2012. So that's pretty much where I've more or less been ever since, with, using forums, various sports forums, Arena Fan, and now Sports Coast to Coast, and Discord and things like that.
ironically, one of the things that got me into the internet in 2008 was actually consuming, let's say, unauthorized copyrighted content on YouTube just months before that lawsuit, which is ironically the very thing that we're trying to avoid with WePity.
Yeah. Back in the day, YouTube was like the place where everybody didn't know how to create content properly, so everybody just uploaded music videos and other stolen content, and that's how YouTube became popular, because everybody was uploading copyrighted content. I think
In parts.
Yeah, the only original content back in the day on YouTube that I remember was Shadow Laggy.
Yeah.
Because she created those music videos with those stick drawings and the other type of original content, quote unquote, on YouTube, it was AMVs.
Oh,
Yes.
God. That just reminds me. Kato says she's going to upload AMVs. I'm going to have to beat her up.
Another thing.
Oh.
Do you guys remember fan fiction and sites like Lycos, Tripod, and Angel Fire?
Oh yes,
I remember
they still
Angel
exist.
Fire.
Oh, yeah. Fanfiction.net's the current preferred, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, fanfiction.net was infamous, especially when people discovered My Immortal.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Reminisce?
No. In 2006, there was this fanfiction called My Immortal. It was a Harry Potter fanfiction, and basically everybody just found out about it because it was so horrible. Like, let me read a line from this fanfiction, just one. Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall. And there's also rid my sight, you despicable brats, said Snaketail.
God.
Honestly, going back to the game sites, that's a pretty good segue for something of other like y'all remember game sites like Cool Monkey or like Crazy Monkey Games? You know, just a bunch of different Flash arcade.
Miniclip.
Yeah.
Blue Snail. What
Yeah.
about Blue Snail?
I always use Crazy Monkey Games personally. That's the one I knew of.
The only one that was not either Nick.com or Cartoon Network that I used for Flash games was Miniclip was the one that I used. And even on Miniclip, I actually didn't play a lot of the other games. I mainly played this old game called Need for Madness. Which
Speaking of,
still exists, but it's not a Flash game. Which, on the subject, we just recently lost Adobe Flash Player, which, for better or for worse, was a lot of the internet. I mean, there was a point where
Not
there were
entirely
sites
true.
that form could not function
entirely
without
Flash.
Flash Player.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
entirely. As long as you know what you're doing, Flash still exists.
yeah, but back in the day, 2006, 2007 or something, if you ever ran into a website that needed Flash Player, the browser would outright tell you, hey, you need Flash Player, click here to download it, and then you downloaded it, and it installed automatically, and that was it. Flash was that important. Browsers were actively giving you Flash Player, but these days, all browsers are like, yeah, Flash is dead, we're disabling it for you.
Yeah, which is just
Right.
annoying. It's like, if I wanted my crap controlled when I got told what I can and can't use, I would go to iPhone. I would go to Apple. Don't tell me what I do and don't want. Screw you.
And I know there's archives and things for that, and certain stuff has transitioned to Java and whatnot. But I mean, as Allison pointed out, the fact that website it's a complete 180. You had browsers actively wanting you to have Flash Player, and now they're telling you it's dead. Even though you go, well, it's not completely dead. The fact of the matter is, for a long time, for like a whole year last year, every time I turned on Chrome, it was like, we're killing Flash Player. It's dead. Which, as I just previously stated, is a complete 180, and that's a pretty big change, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, which honestly, because of Doc, I might just jump to WaterFox because I don't really want to be told, hey, you can't use this. Why? Because it's not safe. Yeah, well, neither is 90% of the internet. Yet, I'm allowed to freely browse and go wherever I wish.
As long as you don't allow a plugin to run 24/7, it's quite all right as long as you're only enabling on a select amount of websites that you actually know.
Like another site we could talk about, Newgrounds.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, yeah. So, funny story is that I actually didn't know. I actually played Newgrounds game, but not in the way you would imagine. Like, for example, do you guys? There was a time when I used to go to the store and I would buy these CD-ROMs that came with with, hey, 1,050 games, and it was all just Flash games installed on them. And then I would, these were a thing. That stores would download Flash games from Newgrounds, Miniclip, Cartoon Network, all these places that had Flash games. There were stores that would download these and they would put it in a CD-ROM and they would sell it to you like 1,000 games for you to enjoy. And I bought one of these.
Not to mention,
Well, I have.
Oh, sorry.
Say I have 100.
I never
have
remember
100
these.
some solitaire games that way.
And
Yeah.
not to mention,
When you go to like an office store, they still sell like if you go to like Office Max or
yeah, they
Office
still
Depot
sell
or
those
whatever,
crappy games.
Staples. If you walk in, if you're in the right aisle of those places, you can still find for like $20 like 101 classic card games for like Windows XP, like still at those places. It's really actually kind of funny.
Actually, I also remember you used to not even have to buy them. They would just give them to you in boxes of cereal and crap too.
Oh yeah, I remember there was one computer game. Not to get too off topic, but I remember there was this old Arthur like computer game that was like a full point and click adventure game that came with a Wendy's Happy Meal. Like Wendy's was giving those out at one point.
Chex Quest.
I still have I have a Finding Nemo DVD from like, I think the movie came out before. I got the disc in like 5 or so. It actually comes with a DVD-ROM that has like a 2D game. It wasn't a Flash game. It was a like DirectX 7 game. But yeah, it was pretty weird buying a movie and getting, oh, here's a game too.
Now, here's an avenue that we haven't touched on: shopping online.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Are we going to be
Back-
discussing the giant elephant in the room then?
Remember
Yeah, man.
when you could only purchase books on Amazon? That was it.
Yeah. Back then, shopping online was like was pretty much everybody told you it was a scam. If you shop online, you're gonna get scammed because there were these stories on media of people who shopped online and they got scammed because that was all eBay was good for back then. People will tell you if you buy something from eBay, you're gonna get scammed.
Yep.
What's it called? Yeah, now that's what Wish is for now.
Yeah,
It's
there was
the
like
way
a,
around now it's like, if you're a seller, you're going to get scammed.
yeah, it was horrible on
Actually buying bootleg things, like people go into AliExpress now and things like that. Now people are like way less concerned than they used to be.
AliExpress is where you just go to buy cheap Chinese knockoffs you don't want to pay premium for in the store.
I use
Hopefully it gets to you in
AliExpress.
less than 8 weeks.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, well, let's be honest, it's where you get a lot of those Chinese-made things in general.
We have run out of time, but stay tuned as there is more to this discussion.